Okay, and this is the first of the new Zombies Don't podcast. I am your host, Chuck Connery, and I'm joined by
the big Bolden, the biggest, baddest sumbitch in Beech Grove.
Yeah, and if you've seen Beech Grove, you know that's quite an accomplishment. This is actually the first podcast, Zombies Don't podcast that's been done in a very, very long time. And the reason for that is basically I never could find nobody else to do it with me.
Exactly.
But, since all those, they ain't got no work rates, and now all these fellers, they want to go and do things like, I don't know, get married and have kids and have jobs, that lame stuff. I moved back to Beech Grove, and you are already in Beech Grove.
Wash up.
Down the street. So, what better way to fill the gap of a podcast partner than just go get family and just drag them into the room, kicking and screaming. Kicking and screaming.
Yep, you drug me in here by the hair of my head.
By the hair of your chinny chin. But here we are. But you've done these podcasts before.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't really particularly care for them, I don't think, but you did them back when we were doing the old Zombies Don't podcast.
Yeah. I done the, the one over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We did a whole commentary over Texas Chainsaw Massacre, too, when you was like 15 years old. Or no, you was like 13 or something like that.
It turned out pretty good, though.
See, I forget how long I've been doing this, but nonetheless, we kept the name Zombies Don't podcast, so I guess the abbreviated would be like ZDP V3 version 3, episode 00001. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I wanted to change the name. I really thought awful strong about changing the name, but the problem is it's really, really hard to find a podcast name that hasn't already been used.
Yeah, for real.
I was going to use Podtasm. Podtasm. And I thought about it, and I used it for one episode a long time ago when I interviewed like Stephen Henley and people like that from the West Virginia horror scene. And I thought about going back to that, but I thought, well, why not just go with something that's kind of already established? I mean, you can kind of break the Zombies Don't podcast stuff into the golden age, the WordPress age, right. And then this is like the YouTube age, I guess, since these are going to be available on the website, but also available on YouTube. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll try to get these out at least weekly on a certain day, maybe. We'll try to stay regular, because if you can't stay regular, you're going to have to get some X-Lax or something.
For real. Hey, today is Friday, so we could just do it every Friday.
We could do it every Friday. But probably won't be uploaded Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe Sunday, because I'm a lazy son of a bitch, so it's hard to say. But it'll get up on one of them days, and we'll try to keep it on them days. And if you don't know me, well, shame on you. But if you do, good. But nonetheless, I'm Chuck Connery. I've been doing this since 2008. I'm old.
Roughly. No, you just started doing it a little bit earlier, didn't you?
No, it was 2008.
Was it?
Yeah, so it's what? We're working on year 9 of ZombiesDon'tRun.net. I was heavily into the drugs. No, I'm just kidding. heavily into podcasting there for a long time. I've been on the Horrorphilia podcast for a long time, which I don't think's around anymore because Lloyd don't like podcasting with nobody else these days but himself. Maybe Gonzo left him at the altar. I don't know what happened.
Or he fell asleep like the last time.
Yeah, something happened there. So the Horrorphilia podcast ain't around. I've been trying to get that reunion going, but that podcast ain't going. Then there was, Zombies Don't podcast, of course, that we just went through, that people decided they too good for the podcast or something. I don't know what happened to them. Grooms is coaching 8th grade female basketball.
And he's ruining everything else.
Yeah, he's definitely slowing down the process on the new movie we're making. Goob, he got married again, and he's had another kid again. And Goob, probably one of the most knowledgeable horror fans out there, besides me, of course. That's in this location, and can't get him to the microphone. He's a busy man. McGurk's in Japan right now.
Japan.
He's in Japan. He's
what
whatever job that is he has. I can't remember what it is, but they're over in Japan. He's been there for 3 weeks.
I bet he's loving that.
I bet he is too. But he ain't been killed by Godzilla yet, so that's always a good thing.
It'll happen, trust me.
Wow. Okay. Then, outside of that, I guess that's just kind of that. I've been updating the website. I've been doing videos. I haven't been doing as many videos as I usually be doing because it's kind of hard to get in that zone here lately to do the video reviews, although I do like doing those. I don't even like calling them reviews, mostly just me talking about them, because I'm a shitty reviewer, I'll be honest with you.
The haul. The haul videos that you have been doing?
Yeah,
you go to certain
yeah.
places.
This is the Dollar General Hall. I went to Dollar General today. This is what I got.
It's like you're barely trying to talk.
Because I'm like, most of the time when I'm doing those, I'm doing them like 3 o'clock in the morning, and everybody's asleep, and I don't want to wake them up and be like, I just been to Dollar General, son, bitch. This is what I got. But now I'm just like, it's Dollar General Hall. It's Chuck Henry. I'd sound like Bob Ross of the movie world. Yeah, we got this other DVD to go with this DVD because every DVD needs a little friend. We need to get him a little friend, and nobody loves DVDs, but I love them, so I'll keep buying them. And here's a goddamn Blu-ray.
There you go.
That's what you need to do. You need to keep them entertained, but we hope to keep you entertained during the duration. Duration. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm from Tennessee. Yes, thank you. He's also here to correct me with grammatical errors. With the duration of this podcast, as I guess what we'll try to do is we'll try not to do mainly reviews. We'll have a segment where we're going to talk about what we've watched, like everybody does. We're riding them coattails, piggybacking off whatever's been established. We're going to talk about whatever. It may not always be horror. This is the horror and genre podcast. I hate the word genre because it's like you can just throw everything in that basket.
Yeah.
But I'll just use it because it's trendy and it covers us in case we want to talk about, I don't know, Fern Gully one week or something like that. Is there any good monkey movies out there?
Planet of the Apes. That's not really monkeys.
Have they made a Harambe movie yet? Has that been made yet? But nonetheless, it's supposed to be horror. Talk about the movies we make, even though we're kind of stalled on making the new one right now. Yeah. And we'll try to get a subject and talk about a subject a little bit. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really have much of a filter when it comes to podcasting. When I do YouTube videos or I write on the side, I kind of got time to think about, well, maybe this isn't the right thing to be saying at this time. But now I'm just be like, well, fuck yeah, as they said on From Dusk Till Dawn. So I'll talk about whatever. If you don't like it, well, you can always unsubscribe or you cuss me out. You can tell me how awful I am in the comments below.
I won't get you nowhere, though.
Well, what gets me somewhere? Tell me where to go.
Not you. I'm talking about them.
I thought you. Okay. We tied like nuts and bolts in here. We 100 in here. I thought he was dissing me. I thought that's a partner right there. You don't have nobody on your podcast that's going to dog you and dish you and treat you like the women treat you all the time.
That's the way they do you, man.
That's how they do you. He says that low because his woman's in another room. But anyway, as he's low-key scheming over here, let's talk about our subject this week. Let's talk about Dread Central and their new crowdfunding approach of operation.
God.
Now, I know there's going to be people out there that's going to not necessarily be fond of my opinion on this. And I want to say up front, I don't want Dread Central to close. I don't want any horror website to close. I like horror websites. My whole deal when I got into this was going on Google and searching sickest horror movie ever made or blah, 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 blah. And usually, Underbladed Disgusting would be Dread Central. Mm-hmm. So I'd click on it. Of course, there's also a few other websites, blogs out there that's pretty popular. But Dread Central's been around for a long time. And everybody knows Uncle Creepy. Steve, whatever his last name is, from Dread Central, the guy that most notably I know him because when I sent out the press release for Morbid, when Morbid finally got a release date, he wrote me back, and it wasn't fellow horror community chum how you doing, buddy? Oh, good day, young sir. None of that stuff. It was yeah, Chuck. I assume he speaks like that. I don't really know how he speaks. Yeah, Chuck. I know you didn't like the movie Zombie World, man, and it was a bad review of it, man. I know you didn't like it. But we're going to post this anyway. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Do I owe him something? For real. I mean, can I not like movies? I mean,
it's not your fault he made a shitty movie.
I think most people would agree if you've seen Zombie World, that the movie's kind of shitty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a Frankenstein movie of sorts. It's a bunch of different shorts like threw together, and of course his other one, Monster Land or Zombie World, whatever the crap was.
It's always World or Land, right?
World or Land. It's one or the other. The other one wasn't much better, but apparently he was letting me know he was doing me a favor, and not only was he doing me a favor, but he was doing me a favor despite my crappy opinion of his movie, apparently, which is an opinion mostly shared in the horror community. I will say, can I get an amen that it's a crappy movie?
The thing about it is, though, is if they're most recently searched, then why are they going out of business?
Well, that's a good question. Why do you need crowdfunding? Why do you want what? They're up over $1,000 now. Okay, so Dread Central needs $1,000 to run their website every month or every year. I mean, how is this? I mean, I don't understand this.
What is it? They can't get the money to pay for the URL or what?
Well, they're claiming, no, see, I don't know, because like URLs are pretty cheap. Bandwidth that's a bitch when you get into bandwidths and all that stuff. And their website's probably pretty huge, but I also think they actually pay writers. I think they actually pay their writers. So maybe this is like a whole ruse, allegedly. Gotta say allegedly so they can't get sued. Maybe it's a ruse for him being like, well, I don't want to pay these guys, so I'm just going to say we're in financial trouble. I'll get a good slice of the cake, and we'll just keep on operating. Of course, now, maybe I could be completely wrong, not saying that's true. Just saying that's one way you could look at it.
But the thing about it is if he didn't have the money to pay the people, then why is he keeping them on?
Because he can't run it by himself, apparently. He can't be like old Charles R. Connery III and run Zombies Don't Run all by yourself when you review probably more movies than Dread Central reviews, I would imagine.
I think you're a better man than him.
Well, thank you. And I hope everybody listening to this thinks that. If you don't think that, that's okay. That's all right, and I'm joking. I mean, they're more official, they're more established. They produce movies, all that stuff. I mean, they've been around forever, and Uncle Creepy's probably a good guy, and all that stuff. It's just, I don't understand where this is coming from. And now, if you're a patron or whatever, patron, whatever that stuff, that stuff, he's here for a reason. And you sign up and you give them money, you get to see exclusive content. Like, if you want to see the crappy poster for the new sci-fi movie coming out here in a couple of months, the only way you can get a look at that poster, unless you, of course, go to some other website that's probably got the same information, although this is billed as exclusive, is you give them some money and they give you the link that works. Now,
what's the movie? What's the sci-fi movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. I mean, I'm sure it's just some movie that you only watch at 3 o'clock in the morning when you got swine flu in the bed and you can't find the remote to change the channel. But nonetheless,
Can't find the liquor bottle.
Can't find the liquor bottle, although it's probably requested and required for most sci-fi movies. But I digress. Nonetheless, like I said, he's doing that. He's already got the articles up that you got to be a paid patron to see. And
Patron, you trying to go get drunk right now?
Yeah, I wish I was drunk right now. But that's already going. And I don't know. And then they did the big video. It was like a 6-minute video, and I don't have the patience for it. But then the part of the video that I did watch, there's all these stars. There's John Carpenter and all these people saying how great Dread Central has always been to their careers. Yeah. I don't know if Romero did it. Romero should have been there. Romero had the guy in his commentary for Land of the Dead or Diary of the Dead or one of those semi-awful last end of Romero zombie trilogy films. But and then you see Adrienne Barbeau, of all people, sitting there saying that Dread Central's helped her whole career. Her whole career? Her whole career? Man, do you remember the internet back in 1976?
Yeah,
do you remember the internet?
Good.
Man, it was like pigeons carried the megabytes, right? Isn't that what it was back in the 1976? Like, well, she exaggerated and whatnot. I don't know what she's talking about. Maybe her modern career of the last 10 years. How many movies was she in the last 10 years? But
I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I think if they love it so much, why don't they pay for it? John Carpenter could probably buy the whole website if he wanted to.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, he says his whole outlook of things when it comes to Halloween, nonetheless, is sitting there and collecting the check. So why not just fund it? You know.
I mean, if they need help that bad, which that's why I think allegedly that he may be in with them. You know what I'm saying? Like he may have been the one that came up with the mastermind plan.
Oh, you think it's a big conspiracy revolving around celebrity? Who knows? It's one take of it. I don't know. I don't know how much money you have to run Dread Central. I know Zombies Don't Run personally doesn't take much. If it did take much, I probably wouldn't have it because I'm a cheap bastard. Zombies Don't Run's been funded for 8 years now by one person, and I ain't saying me, but it's been funded by one person. And it's not cost that much, and it looks trendy, and we get ads. I mean, I sell a few ads every couple years. Every year, I get usually $100 for an ad, which ain't much, but when it's whatever,
it's money.
It's just a little bit of money. It's enough to go buy whatever screener that the company didn't send me that month, I guess. But no, I just don't know, man. I just wonder about it because I don't think Bloody Disgusting is having much trouble. Of course, Bloody Disgusting, I don't know if it's owned by any bigger place because Blumhouse. That's a big production company, by the way. If you don't know, they do a bunch of crappy horror movies. They do some good ones, but most of the crappy horror movies. They pretty well do these clickbait things. They've got their whole Blumhouse.com thing. They've got the Killer POV podcast under a different name called Shockwaves now. They've kind of evaporated things under their umbrella, and they're doing really good. And I think that's one thing Dread Central's trying to say is like they can't compete with the bigger guys.
So they pretty much started a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
page.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's like that, but it's some difference where you give them a certain amount of money every month, and you pledge to do it, and they give you some exclusive content. Maybe they'll give you.
So you have to pledge. So is there no way of backing out?
Yeah, you can back out. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just as long as your money ain't been took out that month, you can back out. But they're offering the perks they're offering is you can automatically be entered in all their contests to win free stuff.
So you're pretty much paying to be able to use the website. You're
being their mommy and daddy, and you're supporting them. Is what you're doing. Which that's a thing now.
That's kind of pathetic for a big website to do.
Well, yeah, but and their whole thing is they're like, well, we don't have no big corporate thing that's buying us out, and we don't want to keep doing these clickbait things to get views, and we can't sell ads anymore because ad revenues are down, and all this and all that. So they say they got their reasons. They make a good story. I don't know if I buy the story, but I'm sure we'll figure out later on, and the thing is, like I said, I hope the website stays around still, even though if we're having a little bit of fun at its expense here. Yeah. I do hope it stays around, although I don't think in this day and age, with as many things as there is out there to get information and whatnot on horror movies and stuff, that I don't see it lasting very long. I don't think it's going to work, and I think pretty soon, sooner than later, when the flower, gets old, I guess you could say, and people are like, well, why am I giving them this money every month? That we'll get a situation where the website will either go back to the status quo or maybe to close down. I don't know. I mean, I just don't see it working out in the long run.
Well, I mean, if they've got as many patrons as they...
they're already over 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, if they got that many, then it could probably work for a couple more years. But I don't know.
Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't see that many people being that stupid, but that's just my opinion.
I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But I know I got a lot better things to do than support Dread Central. I got to support my own habits. I got movies I got to buy, man.
You got drugs you got to buy.
Yeah. I got Dr. Pepper I got to buy. But generic Dr. Pepper because I can't afford to buy the real thing. But I can afford to keep my website going.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying. That's me. May not be you, apparently, Uncle Creepy, but that's me. That's your boy. That's Chuck Connery, baby. Okay, we've annoyed enough people now as we're listening to it, so we're gonna take a quick break here at Zombies Don't Podcast version 3, episode 1. Boy, that's a lot, ain't it, to say? ZDP V3 EP1. There you go. There you go. Try to say that 45 times.
I don't think I can even say it once.
I'm getting tired of trying to say that.
Yeah,
25 times. Yeah, but we're going to love these inside jokes. But nonetheless, we're going to take us a quick break. We'll let you hear from our sponsor. We don't have one. But we'll let you hear from something, and then we'll be right back here as we're going to talk a little bit about what movies we've watched recently. And we'll be right back here on Zombies Don't Podcast. That's stupid, wasn't it? Yeah.
Welcome to Altair 4, gentlemen.
Okay, we're back here on Zombies Don't Podcast. I'm your host with the most, the prettiest man on the internet, Chuck Connery, OG, triple OG, double OG, 4-time the OG, and the man sitting here to my left, eating a sugar-free pecan cookie. Is that pecan cookie?
I don't know. It's the worst thing I've ever eaten, but I like them.
Maybe what kind of cookie? Almond?
I don't know.
I think it comes from Roses. If anybody knows what a Roses is, they know how awful them cookies are. But nonetheless,
pathetic.
Yeah, they're pretty pathetic. As we said here. Either way, tell them what your name is, boy.
Oh, Ethan.
Yeah, EB3.
Yeah.
Ebola Bold.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
The taste test man that helps me on these YouTube videos around here. Of course, you can, as I said, watch this on YouTube every week. It won't be us. It won't be us. It'll just be a picture of something. Probably the logo.
Yeah.
And the
no
audio.
Video, just
no
audio.
video because we're lazy, and it takes a long time to upload stuff like that. But
yeah, for real.
Because we don't have Comcast here anymore, we're out of Smiffle. But nonetheless, we're going to continue with the download format. Also, you can download it off zombiestalkrun.net. But we're going to talk now about the more uncontroversial, probably, I don't know. I guess you could say the segment of the show that's going to cause people probably not to get mad at us.
Well, the thing about it is, though, is you forgot to tell them.
What'd I forget?
That they can buy this on the website because we need money because we're going out of business.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, be my
shots fired.
Be my patron. Be my Patreon. be my mommy and my daddy. Pay me. Pay my bills.
Please support me. Please
support me. No, this is free 99, boys. Free 99 all day, every day, twice on Sunday.
We don't care.
That's right. I've done Learn with My Movie More, but it don't do no good charge because nobody will buy it anyway. Yeah. That's probably.
We do this for fun. We do this for play.
We do this just because we can. And I said nobody bought more, but I think we know somebody bought it.
Yeah, somebody bought it.
It's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. I don't want to go into that.
Let me
go.
Already
gets on my nerves.
We can't talk without lawyer sticky fingers here, so just remember that. Nonetheless, what have you been watching here lately? Well, I know one thing you've been watching here lately. You've been jumping head first, toe first, feet first, which would be connected to your
elbows
toes.
first.
Yeah, right into the Quentin Tarantino discography.
As the
best. Yeah, see, now he's coming around. See, I've always thought that. Quentin is like Quentin. I could get it right in a minute. Quentin Tarantino is the reason I even make movies, bad movies. It's Quentin Tarantino because I always loved him. I always loved Total Story many times. I always loved him. Rented them all the time, watched them all the time. But when I saw Pulp Fiction, I was like, I need to make something.
Right.
And you had seen Django.
Yeah.
Which I like Django. Although Django is one of my lesser ones.
Not as good as Hateful Eight.
Not as good as Hateful Eight. I love Hateful Eight. Then you saw Hateful Eight.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, if you like those, here's Reservoir Dogs.
That and Pulp Fiction they're tied for the first for me.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction is way number one for me. You ain't seen Jackie Brown yet.
No, I need to get to watching that.
It's a longer one. Kill Bill. Have you seen Kill Bill?
I've seen both of them, but it was back when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I never really paid attention to them.
Yeah, I like them a lot. Kind of wish they'd hurry up and put out the whole bloody affair.
I think it was because I never did understand them when I was younger because of the way they're out of sync and stuff.
Yeah.
And just the Quentin Tarantino mindset of writing the movies.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino movies work best when your nuts have dropped.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, mine dropped, a few years ago. No. It's definitely something that you probably need to be more older, mature to understand. When you can take humor in the dialogue that's funny, even though it's not meant to be funny. You need to see True Romance, though. I'll give you True Romance. We ain't found True Romance.
No,
you need to watch True Romance because I broke one of my cardinal rules of I usually like to hoard up everything, but since I've got them and they're going to waste anyway, I give you my Tarantino DVDs and kept the Blu-rays because I got all of it on DVD and Blu-ray.
And I will cherish them for the rest of my life.
That's right. And you need to watch Natural Born Killers, although...
Did he write that?
Yeah, he wrote it, but it's like totally turned around from what he had in mind for it. So I don't...
They changed it all when they brought it?
He don't really claim it, but... And then there's like the segment, like, if you want to get like deep in, balls deep into the Tarantino discography, you got to watch From Dusk Till Dawn that he wrote and stars in.
Yeah.
And then you need to watch 4 Rooms, which is like an anthology. It takes place in a hotel. And
is he in it?
Yeah, he's in it, and he wrote the last segment. And the guy that played the Mr. Orange, the one that got popped in the belly in Reservoir Dogs, and
what is his name?
Tim Roth, I think. Yeah. Tim Roth, and the guy that was robbing the diner in Pulp Fiction, he plays the bellboy at the hotel, and he's always into each segment of that movie. Which I don't like anything in that movie besides the Robert Rodriguez segment and the Tarantino segment. But that's one to watch. And I'm probably forgetting, well, of course, Grindhouse, the Death Proof portion of it that he done. That's something to watch. Maybe some more I'm thinking of or forgetting about at the moment. I don't know. But you didn't like the one thing you didn't like so far that you've seen was you didn't really care for Inglourious Basterds.
No, I didn't really care for it. It's just like I couldn't get into it. I mean, I'm sure if I would have watched it all the way through because I fell asleep the first night and didn't get to watch it, only got to watch half. I'm sure if I would have watched it all the way through, I would have probably got more into it because I think I fell asleep right at the good part. but then I never did finish it.
I don't care much for it. I mean, I like all Tarantino movies to an extent anyway, and Tarantino, but that's not one of my favorites. Like, I love Kill Bill, and then Inglourious Basterds kind of a letdown. I guess if I'm being honest, it's kind of a letdown. Django was good, but it still wasn't quite what I wanted. But
I figured it
Hateful Eight totally was what I was looking for.
Oh, yeah. I figured that Inglourious Basterds would be good because, one thing, it's the Tarantino movie. Mm-hmm. Two things, the second thing I'll say, is it's got Brad Pitt in it. So I figured it'd be a lot better than it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's got its moments. It's just the Bear Jew. That's funny.
Yeah,
You start calling me the Bear Jew. I'm Harry Man.
Yeah.
Although I don't
Hateful
look very
Eight,
Jewish.
on the other hand.
Well, yeah.
I think that's the best movie of this year.
But like all the other friends we have seem to like be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it don't make any sense.
It's long and they talk a lot.
They get to they probably get to the best part.
And turn it off?
Yeah, and turn it off, probably. Because it's so long and drawn out, which is the best part of it.
Yeah, I like it. It builds suspense, especially the first time you watch it and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Of course, I had a bit of a cheat on that anyway because I had read the script that leaked.
I had to watch it twice to really understand most of it.
Oh, that's good.
The whole part, but I think the best part of it is where it takes so long to get to the haberdashery.
Yeah.
Minnie's haberdashery.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that draws it out and makes it even better because they're all riding in the same carriage and they really have no idea who's lying or who's not,
Yeah, because we don't know if Chris Maddox is really the sheriff or not.
Yeah, for real. Hey, it turns out that...
Don't spoil it.
I don't want to spoil it. That's what I was going to say.
Don't spoil it.
I don't want to spoil it, but it turns out that he's actually a good guy.
Yeah, I like old Chris Maddox's character in there. But now, of course, the only logical step for you to do, like I did after I watched all the Tarantino movies, was then go watch all the Tarantino rip-off movies.
Right.
Like Go. I like Go. You ain't seen Go yet. It's like Pulp Fiction. Everything.
Who's in it?
I can't think off the top of my head. It's got Katie Holmes in it. I think Katie Holmes in it.
Oh, really?
I think she's in it. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. I don't know. I think Katie Holmes in it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I've got it on DVD. I don't even know if there's a Blu-ray of that, but it's good. Of course, then you got to get into the Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and all that good stuff. That's the next step, and I think you'll like those two. I really like those two a lot.
Yeah.
I've recently upgraded them to Blu-ray, which I never had Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, but had Snatch on DVD. That's probably when you'll want after you watch it, I think. Yeah. It's got Brad Pitt, but it's got a funny Brad Pitt character in it that I think you'll like a lot. Now, as you know, I'm always watching stuff because I got stuff I got to watch a review, which kind of takes the fun out of watching. Like, Eight the Chosen One, you don't know who that is, but he's like a YouTuber, he's a rapper, he's a movie guy now, and he wears a mask all the time. Mm-hmm. Like that's his gimmick. But he mentioned on a video a while back about how when you make it a job, it kind of takes the fun out of it. It does take the fun out of it. So a lot of times I'm having to watch a bunch of crap I don't want to watch and all that. And I'm pretty sure in a lot of my reviews it shows sometimes I really don't want to be watching that. But I took a little bit of a break from that to try to catch up on some stuff that I hadn't seen. Finally watched Hush.
That was a good movie.
Which you kept on like I was afraid you were going to spoil it.
I almost did.
So I was like, shut up, I haven't seen it, shut up. But I finally one night was like, I got Netflix, why not watch it? So I watched Hush, and I liked it,
It was good.
Movie been 5 minutes long, if bitch would own a gun, though.
Yeah, for real.
But besides that, it's a good one. I mean, it kind of tripped me out. I don't want to spoil nothing, but it kind of faked me out on one part.
The twist?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well. That kind of didn't see that coming.
You need to see Curve.
Yeah, I need. What's this now? What's the plot on Curve? That's spoiling it. If somebody here hadn't seen it, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if they took it off or not. But the plot's like there's this girl.
Yeah.
It goes back to the old saying like, don't pick up hitchhikers, right?
Yeah.
So she picks him up. He makes sexual advantages at her, and she makes him get out of the car. So then. Should I keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
As long as you ain't spoiling it.
It's kind of going by play-by-play on the movie.
Well, the plot is basically what happens. Like,
she wrecks the car.
Mm-hmm.
She's still alive, but she's hung underneath the car.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes back every day kind of taunting her, and then at the end, it just wraps around and there's a big twist.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Maybe I'll get around to that one. I still need to watch, before I do my best of list, the top 10 or whatever, horror movies of the year, which that's not a new one, I don't think, but I need to watch it anyway. But I need to watch Holidays, which is an anthology about holidays. Kevin Smith and them done it. I almost bought it one day at Walmart. You remember I was there with you at Walmart. I was like, it's $14. I don't want to pay $14. How am I going to get my Big Mac if I pay $14? No. But.
Actually, I don't think Curve is really considered a horror movie, but even though it's kind of got the creepy vibe to it, I don't think it's
like more of a thriller type thing.
Yeah, something like that.
That'll work. And then I need to watch The Invitation. And I own The Invitation. I bought The Invitation. You remember I bought it?
Yeah.
When I about had a stroke at Walmart. When I bought the UFC game and the controller that cost me, about $120 for both? And then I was like, well, I'm buying The Invitation. Yeah. That's another $20. I got up there, and of course I had the money. It's just I'm cheap.
Almost died.
I'm a cheap bastard. And I got up there, and they told me the price, and it's like, oh, it's a big one. I'm coming for you. I'm coming, remember? What's that Red Fox like Sanford's son?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you big dummy. But that's what I felt like when I felt like calling myself that.
Well, I mean, you done it for just the pleasure of playing the game.
That's right. Even though I sold the game later.
Yeah, but I mean,
anyway, I
at least you got 2 controllers.
Yeah, I got 2 controllers of it. But I got The Invitation on Blu-ray because the company never sent that to me for some reason. They I don't even know if they sent it to anybody. It's like, yeah, it's coming, and it never comes.
Do you know the plot on that?
No, I don't have a clue about it.
Who's in it? Do you know?
I have no clue. I just know it's sitting right there on that shelf, and I've never even watched it.
Is it horror?
Yeah, I reckon. Brett Eastonella said it's pretty good. He listens to his podcast. You don't listen to ours, listen to him. So I need to try it out. It's been on a lot of top 10 lists for the year that people's already done the list, so I need to watch it. And the only other thing I really want to watch is I feel like I need to watch Ouija 2. The Ouija movie, which is it Ouija?
Oh, Ouija.
Yeah, I don't know. I hated the first one, and they said the second one's really good because the same guy that did. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank, but the same guy
Do you have it?
No, I don't have it. I don't even think it's out yet. But
is it not?
No, but the guy that done that has. I think it's the same. Maybe it ain't the same guy that done Hush, is it? Maybe it is the same guy that done Hush.
Hey, if it is, it may be.
I think the guy that done Hush, and yeah, I think it is. If I'm wrong, you guys can leave me a comment and tell me I'm a fucking idiot. But I keep it low because I don't want to be offensive to the people that's not into those words around here.
Yeah.
But anyway, and not because I'm afraid to say it, just because I have more respect than to bail it out.
That's right.
But
respect is the key.
Respect. You gotta respect people around here, especially when
put respect on
you're already being intrusive with setting up your equipment anyway. Yeah. But anyhow, that's how things go, and I need to watch that one. And it seemed like there was another one.
We watched together the what is it? The Christmas one?
Oh, Christmas God. Okay, we had a plan that we was going to do the 12 dreadful days of Christmas or the 12 horrible days of Christmas. We're going to do something Christmas related. We got this Christmas stuff. We got a Santa hat. We got a Christmas related merchandise. We got the tree, got the lights, and we was going to sit here and record ourselves on video and upload to YouTube every day a review of a Christmas horror movie. Well, that got as far as one movie.
It was the worst movie.
They don't like it. I don't care too much for it. A lot of people on here like it, but it's All Through the House.
I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's not All Through the House.
No,
it's...
Hang on.
All Through the House is a new movie that's come out.
What is
To All a Good Night.
To All a Good Night.
To All a Good Night. Yeah, that's what it was. And a movie pretty famous for having the worst day for night shots I've ever seen in my life.
You know what's even worse than that is you could tell it was a dummy that fell off the balcony in the first.
Oh, that's HD. that's the glory of glorious HD. It's that happens, and you can tell stuff's fake. But I mean, that ain't what bothered me. What bothered me was I thought it was a little bit too slow.
I mean, it really didn't.
And it don't really establish your main character until almost halfway through the movie. I mean, there's girls there, and one of these has got to be the final girl,
right?
And you don't really. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but it didn't seem like they really focused on her that much until the part where the handyman, the big red herring, the big handyman that they want you to think is the man doing all the killing, looks up to her and he's like, "You're not like these other girls."
The only reason that I think I even noticed that balcony fall is because we've been working on the movie, and I'll see how we do it behind the scenes, and then I'll think, well, damn, I just seen that in that movie,
Yeah, I think they had more of a budget than we did, and I'm sure that
I think we done a lot better.
That didn't look too good. But like I said, what kills me is the day for night stuff, and I know that's in everything, especially in the 80s. It's a common thing. It's something I don't know why they did it, because they couldn't afford lights to light up the place.
Yeah.
So they had to do day for night. And this one here just is so obvious it's daytime. You can just tell it's daytime and it looks bad. But
I will say this about the movie, though. It had a pretty decent twist in it.
Yeah, it had a twist to it. That's the second time I'd watched it. didn't really enjoy it the first time I watched it, and didn't really enjoy it the second time I watched it.
Well, I mean, why did you suggest it as the first one we watched?
Well, just get it out of the way for one, and for two, because it's a Christmas horror film, and when you get down to 12, I don't know how many of them I actually own now. Of course, we do this. If we did this every year, I was going to go and get more of them. Now, we may still do a video. I don't know.
How many days is this till Christmas, though?
At the time of doing this, we're like 9 days away.
Well, we
8 days away.
Like 5 or something.
We could start Monday. If we started recording this week, watch the movie, do the video.
Yeah.
We could do one Monday all the way up till Christmas Day, and that'd be 7, because Christmas is next Sunday, right?
That'd be like a week to Christmas, right?
Be like 7 deadly days or 7 damn days. I don't know, 7.
We'd have to start start Sunday though, wouldn't we?
Well, we'd have to record something to have it up. We'd be like a day behind or a day ahead on recording. Mm-hmm. But we could do it. I mean, I don't know. We may still do it. I mean, we know we've seen Black Christmas. We already do Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night. We've watched that 100 times, so we could do that one if we wanted to do those. But I like to try to find maybe some less obvious ones. I'd like to do the Jack Frost one, but haven't got that yet.
What about the what is it?
Well, there's
Krampus. Something?
Oh, Krampus.
Krampus, yeah.
Yeah, you can do Krampus. Krampus is there. I got Krampus, so that might work.
Krampus.
That's like in the ghetto. It's Krampus.
That sounds like a Little John.
But I actually did watch a Christmas movie that wasn't a horror film today, and I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, because why the hell not? I just watched it. A Dog Walker's Christmas Tale. This thing has totally got Lifetime Channel written all over it.
Sounds pretty rough.
Monarch Home Entertainment, which is Tennessee-based.
Is it really?
Yeah. Basically, this girl that just cannot find Mr. Right. I can't believe I'm doing this review here on a horror podcast, but this girl that can't find Mr. Right gets a job walking a dog, so she goes to the dog park, and hot damn, there's Mr. Right there walking the dog. And another twist, there's a twist. Her boss is shutting down the dog park to build a spa.
Oh, I figured that.
Oh, so now she has to kind of play both sides. She's trying to help him, and she's falling in love with him, and she's trying to do all this for Christmas and not get caught by the boss. And she's playing both sides, and it's like a damn Lifetime movie. So it's not going to get too tense, but it's got some funny parts to it.
I think they'd have like somebody that was at least really famous in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like these people, I feel like I should know these people, but I don't. It's got Jonathan Bennett, who was in Mean Girls and Van Wilder freshman year.
Oh, I knew I seen him.
And Cheaper by the Dozen too. That's like.
Well, he's kind of famous.
He's getting top billing. And the chick, Lexi Giovanoli.
What was she in?
Lexi Ravioli.
Yeah.
She was in. It says on the back of the box, it says One Chance, Two Dance. One Chance, Two. I said that like a robot. Accidentally Engaged, but she was also in Varsity Blood, which was a pretty horrible slasher movie that came out last year. So she kind of stays in her field. She's all right. I like her. I wouldn't kick her out of the bed or anything like that. I'd let her smell what the Chuck's cooking. You know what I'm saying? Boy, there's a couple of unsubscribes right there. But
put her in the rock bottom.
Yeah. If you want to call it that, yeah. And then the boss and like her boss and like her husband's played by Diane Meyer and Patrick Mulden, who are both people that was in Starship Troopers. So it's what an odd place to have a reunion for a couple of castmates, right? We're in Starship Troopers. Let's do this movie. And of course, like she's also in Saw. Diane Meyer was. That's the redhead. She was hot back in the day. She still looks good now. She's in MILF status now. MILF status. Yeah, that's Rose Smith. Doggone, ladies and gentlemen, that's a phone ringing right here live on the air.
Hello?
And listen to this. He's taking the call on the air.
Nothing sitting here. What are you doing?
Let's take a pause.
Oh.
Crazy Ralph!
Shut your mouth!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Drugs and alcohol don't always go as planned. For all your piss and moaning and prophecies of doom, you should have known they all applied to you.
So we're back. Is you finished or are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, that was just like a warning call, anyways.
A warning call. Don't podcast. It's a warning.
It wasn't that. It was, well, I mean, I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, it's personal matter. Personal matters here on Zombies Don't Podcast with Chuck.
Well, I mean, it's not really that personal. It's just...
It's probably, but is it anything that anybody listening cares about?
No, not exactly.
Do you want to know about his personal life? Your phone's over here having a conniption right now. You need to plug.
That was yours, buddy.
Oh, well. My phone's having a conniption over here. Nobody ever calls mine, though, because I suck. But, but anyway, as we were talking about movies, I don't even remember what I was talking about last, but I'll go ahead and mention some quick things I got here. I don't want to do like in-depth reviews because I got to write about them anyway, so I'm just going to save it for that. And you can read them. Y'all know how to read, right? You know how to read?
Yeah, I know how to read. I just
if you can, it's all right.
I was going to add something, but then I was thinking, no.
Well, it's okay if you don't. I mean,
I know how to read. You know I know how to read.
Yeah, I know you do. And hey, you know what? I'm having a change of heart. It's the Christmas time. It's got into me. If you can't, that's fine. Out there, I'm talking to people of the world out there on YouTube and on the internet. You can listen to me talk very loosely about them, because I know you're dying to hear about SRS Cinema's DVD of Sex Squatch 2. Teen Ape versus Sex Squatch. My Lord.
Have you seen it already?
Yeah. It's only an hour long, but Chris Seaver, man, I tell you what, I respect the guy. He's been making movies longer than I have. He's been in the game longer than I have. He's made a career out of it. But, I mean, I don't feel too bad about saying the movie's awful, because even him himself hates it. And if you listen to the commentary, you can hear him talk about how over these type of movies he is. Like, he don't even want to do these movies anymore anyway. Right. But he's got an audience for them, and they help pay for it, and that's why it came.
Did he write it, or?
Yeah, I mean, he did it. He wrote it and directed, and it's got these characters he's used in all kinds of Warlock, which was his deal, home videos, you know, for a long time. It's these real spoofy, kind of parody type movies. Yeah. Sasquatch wasn't bad. The first one wasn't. I mean, it's awful in a fun way, but I mean, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean. Yeah. If you watch horror movies, you know what I mean. But Sasquatch 2 is just so awful, it's awful. I mean, it's terrible.
Is it that bad?
It's Dollar Tree toilet paper thin plot, let me tell you. Which is pretty good, because it's just like what happens when you wipe with it, you get shit. And that's what you get here with Sasquatch 2, but it's okay to say that because he believes the same thing. And I wouldn't be dogging him if I didn't know that he felt so strongly about it himself. But basically, the difference Sasquatch from the first one, and basically Teen Ape, that was in a bunch of other movies. They go head-to-head in a competition over who can sleep with the most people, apparently. And there's a lot of real corny stuff. It's got some characters he's had in a bunch of his movies.
Half-naked women in it.
And then, yeah, they actually show some boobs this time around. Usually they're always teased, but they're not shown. But they're shown this time sometimes, you know. And there's a little bit of TNA in this, and there's a few funny things in this. But it's more or less, you can tell it's rushed through, and it's just not very good. I mean, it's got some moments, but it's pretty bad. And the Sasquatch thing, you know, it was okay the first time. This time, I don't know, man. It just didn't do nothing for me. And Teen Ape never really has done anything for me. But I don't know. When you was young watching movies, back when you didn't get the Tarantino movies, is probably when you would most enjoy stuff like this. Probably when you'd most enjoy Chris Seaver's other films. Although he does have a couple other films that I actually do enjoy, but this one, not so much. But
he kin to Mike Seaver?
Probably not. But maybe old people will get that reference out there. But you know, like I said, SRS Cinema puts out a lot of his stuff. They put this out, and
is that like a big name or not?
Yeah, for indie movies it is. You know, for like stuff like I make, it is. Although he turned Morbid down when Morbid was first made, and a lot of people out there is probably like, oh yeah, good taste, but no, apparently not if you watch Sasquatch 2. But yeah, I didn't care much for it, man. It didn't have much gore or nothing like that. It had a few dirty jokes in it, a lot of dirty jokes in it. It has some pretty weird characters. His phone is having an orgasm over here. Some people don't believe in silent or vibrate when you're doing a podcast. Zombies don't silence their phones. It should be the name of the podcast. But nonetheless, as he's fixing what he's fixing over there, I'll go ahead and move on to two other SRS Cinema DVDs. Directed by the same guy, which apparently the director's name's not on these, so I'm not going to go bother and drag it up and look for it. But it's the same guy that did Gore Horror. The same guy that did, what is it? Gorerotica. Same guy. Well, this is Goregasm. About this woman who looks a whole lot like Kelly Carver that was in Morbid. I hate to say this, only she's more well-blessed upstairs, I should say. And she's basically doing this weird S&M thing, and then, she kills them when they reach their peak. The ultimate orgasm, ladies and gentlemen. When they reach their peak, she offs them. And this detective gets in on the story, and he follows her. And it's actually oddly entertaining enough to keep you watching. And it's kind of short, too. And it's shot on video. So, to like shot on video movies is basically to like shit. That's basically what it is. And I like it. I don't know about you, because I don't think you've watched that much. But you could at least say the cover's nice, which nobody out there can see it. But the cover's nice. Whoever does the SRS Cinema covers did this one. It looks nice. And like I said, it's short, sweet, to the point. It's got some badly acted, badly shot stuff in it. But that's what you like about these. And this one, I liked it. I liked it enough. Maybe I just liked that big set of titties that was on the screen. Maybe that's probably what it was. The next one by the same guy is Dead Silence.
So that's not the Dead Silence.
No.
Okay.
No. This is not that Dead Silence. This is a shot-on-video film from like 92 or something like that. Yeah, no, 1989. It says 1989, so it's 1989. Which means the other one was 1990. Oh, wow. This one's older than that. And this one here is pretty rough. Like, there's some things here that don't work out very well. It's kind of like a rip-off of Shocker in some ways. Although I think they come out the same year. This guy, he's satanic. He gets electrocuted, and then still he tries to carry out his one last kill by paranormal means, and this person's on the case and all that stuff. It's all right. It's got a pretty cool cover, too.
So, does he get his last kill?
Well, I ain't gonna spoil it. You gotta buy it, or borrow it in your case. But you probably won't be able to finish it, I don't think. But out there, if you like it, it's all right. It's got a commentary track and stuff on it. The other one does as well. But that's all three movies from SRS Cinema. And then the last thing I'll talk about here was something you walked in while I was watching. I was halfway through it the other day.
Yeah.
Sodomaniac. From our good friends at Wild Eye Releasing. But this was sent my way for review, and I watched it. And I didn't hate it. It's a little weird. It's more than old-fashioned grindhousey type things. I will first mention, you probably won't know this, but that cover, which is done by Devin Whitehead, who's a great artist, is so a parody of Pledge Week or Pledge Night, or I think it's Pledge Week or whatever. Maybe it was Pledge Night. I don't know. It's 1990 old slasher film that came out when I was a kid. It was like the hand. Remember the case for that had like a hand coming out of the toilet or a urinal with an apple or a banana. It was a banana in its hand, like a severed hand. Well, this here is a hand coming out of a toilet with a knife in its hand, while a severed head and beer bottles lay around it. And basically, you follow these guys who are just a bunch of losers, a bunch of scumbags, are terrible, and they rape women. Basically, they give them these drugs, these roofies, as Tone Loc would say, the funky cold Medina, and they rape them. Well, all of a sudden, here comes this guy with an asshole mask. That's exactly what it is, a mask of an asshole, walking around killing these people, anally raping them with a knife. And it's got some funny stuff to it. It's got some stuff maybe that's a little but more or less, I was actually quite entertained with it, and that kind of shocked me. It's got cast, crew commentaries, original opening, original ending, outtakes, music video, short film, teaser, and trailers. But you won't see a trailer for Morbid on that. You will on some of their other ones, but not on this one. This is I thought it was a Wild Eye Raw release. They're more shot on video type stuff, but maybe they're saving that for more actual shot on video stuff, because this was actually pretty nice looking movie. I just wish Wild Eye would go to Blu-ray. I mean,
yeah, that's why I was wondering why they was all.
Well, SRS Cinema, that's a whole other subject for a whole other day. SRS Cinema doesn't let a thing like quality get in the way of putting out a Blu-ray, because all of these that are shot on video and you're at the peak of definition with DVD are on Blu-ray for like $30 a piece. And you know what? It ain't going to look a bit different than this DVD right here.
So there's no sense in buying it.
No. But, there's people out there that just love the format, and they got to have it because it's a collector's item, right? So they got them. And then Sodomaniac, which would look good on Blu-ray from Wild Eye, is not out there on Blu-ray. Now, Wild Eye does this thing now every now and then where they'll take a movie and they'll put it on Amazon, and if it gets picked up by Amazon Video or whatever, they can make like a burned Blu-ray of it, and they do sell those. They sell one of High 8, which is not in high definition.
So altogether, they really don't put out Blu-ray.
No, they do like a sidebar, burn on demand type gimmick that they don't do with all their films. They do it with a few of them, and pretty random ones at that. Like, well, you can see why they do Disco Exorcist and stuff like that, but Scream Park. But I don't know why they do some of the ones they're doing. But They don't do all of them. Maybe I'm just jealous because there's not a Morbid Blu-ray.
Yeah, I wish there was.
Yeah, it would be a burned on demand one if there was. Maybe next year when the rights.
Well, they have it on Amazon.
They have it on Amazon, but they don't have it instantly on Amazon. But maybe next year when my rights return to me, I'll just make it myself.
Yeah.
Maybe long before then we'll have our other movie done.
Yeah, hopefully.
And maybe next week we'll be back with another podcast.
Why show?
We should. I mean,
not?
You live down the street, so unless you get abducted by aliens, arrested, or get a job that takes all your time by the time the next time comes around, because real world sucks.
Yep.
But we can still find time to do these podcasts.
Oh yeah.
You just got to keep watching movies. You got to keep watching them. I know you watch them a lot. You want to tell them about The Grinch Stole Christmas before we leave?
Oh,
or do you
God, we watched it last night.
That's the Jim Carrey version, right?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that one?
I like it.
I've never finished it.
It's good.
I don't like Jim Carrey.
Really?
I don't like him.
He's
looking at me with some judging eyes right now. But
we'll save that for the next one.
Yeah. What do you out there? Do you like Jim Carrey? Hey, he was in was it Once Bitten, the vampire movie? I think it's Once Bitten. We can talk about that someday. But nonetheless, we'll be back next week with hopefully we'll be back next week. People may hear the Dread Central part of this podcast and hunt us down, kill us. Who knows?
No, they ain't big enough for all that.
They may. Yeah, listen, he went gangster, 0 to gangster in 5.2 seconds. But nonetheless, I'm Chuck Connery, and this is
Ethan
Bolden, and this was ZDP V3 EP1, and we'll be back next week, hopefully with episode 2.